by at least 80% this year through major reforms that open its oil sector to private investors. The new draft hydrocarbon laws, approved in its first parliamentary reading, would upgrade decades-old rules and allow private and potentially foreign firms to explore, extract and market oil under contract. The state oil giant, the PDVSA, says the changes are designed to give investigators and investors legal certainty and revitalize output that once peaked above 3 million barrels per day. The reform is widely seen as a shift away from strict state control under previous governments and comes amid pressure from the United States to open the energy sector. Meanwhile, interim President Delcy Rodriguez also called for dialogue with the opposition to foster national unity, saying peace and stability must come before political differences. Listen into what the interim president of Venezuela had to say.
Le exhorté e invité al presidente de la Asamblea Nacional a que active todos los espacios para los encuentros políticos en Venezuela, con todos los sectores políticos, sectores opositores, sectores que son y están con el gran polo patriótico, con el chavismo. Bueno, desde las diferencias tenemos que hablarnos con respeto. Desde la diferencia tenemos que encontrarnos y alcanzar acuerdos. No puede haber diferencias, ni políticas ni partidistas, cuando se trata de la paz de Venezuela. No puede haber divisiones. Tiene que ser Venezuela como un solo cuerpo nacional.
This, of course, comes after pressure from the United States following the capture of President Maduro has, of course, increased. Cooperation between the United States and Delcy Rodriguez's interim government has seemingly gone quite well as of so far, but of course we don't know what's going on behind the scenes and which strings are being pulled by the United States and of course the CIA operations inside Venezuela. This is a big development as it will let the potential of companies come in and work inside Venezuela, which has the largest known oil reserves in the world. Of course, the United States wants to come in and work inside Venezuela. Donald Trump even floating the idea of running the entire country and controlling the oil which lies underneath its ground. So this new draft of a hydrocarbon law, it's been approved but in its first parliamentary reading. This is unknown whether how much pressure is being put on by the United States in regards to this. Of course, we'll continue to cover this story coming out of Caracas and the rest of the country as soon as we get the information. But it looks like Delcy Rodriguez, Maduro's former president, is bowing to US demand when it comes to this, and looking to gain confidence in US companies which have been reluctant to invest inside Venezuela after the capture of Nicolas Maduro, calling it politically unstable, and so this will give the US oil companies more of a reason and more confidence in investing inside the Latin American country, which has of course seen political instability for decades under the Maduro government and previously. Donald Trump seems to think that Venezuela has huge potential despite its damaged infrastructure and of course socialist leadership which is currently in power. He has said good things about the current discourse which is going on between US officials and Delcy Rodriguez's administration. There is a huge, what Donald Trump calls an armada waiting outside the Caribbean. This is seen to be putting pressure on Venezuela to move in the way that is indeed moving. Okay, we're going to move on now and head over to the